Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiskey and Wires. I am your lovely host, John Bingham, and I am here with YouTube sensation and former teen idol, Ryan Burke.
I'm still a teen idol. all the teens wish they could be me.
Well, I didn't realize that this was a perpetual thing. When I was a teen, you were an idol. I'm no longer a teen. I suppose they still are.
I'd love to know like more details about this scenario where I was an idol when you were a teen. How recently were you a teen? I imagine we're kind of the same age.
I'm an old man. I am 39 years old as of 2 days ago.
I'm going to be 39 this year in August.
Are you?
Yep.
No kidding.
We're the same age.
You're gonna get to have a birthday outside of quarantine.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
You will. No, keep your head up. You will.
As an introvert, it might be surprising to some people that I'm an introvert, but as an introvert, I've kind of been loving life during all this.
Really?
It's been a lot of fun. Like, especially like going shopping. I've had to go shopping a couple times. Like, life should always be like this. People should always stay 6 feet apart. Like, no one should touch anything.
Right.
And just be like, oh, let's not touch stuff. Like, that's a great rule. Let's not touch stuff, guys. That's really cool. I'll be sad when things go back to normal.
All right.
I'm enjoying the roads being clear. You go out for a drive and nobody's out. Gas is cheap. I don't know, guys. I think this might be the way to live.
The one thing I will say about this quarantine thing is the skies in Los Angeles, which is where I'm based, are clear. Oh my God. You can actually see like the hills that are 5 miles to the north of me, like where Topanga Canyon and all that is. Typically on a day here, if I'm looking northbound from my street, I can't see the actual hills. Now It seems clear as a bell. It's crazy.
I was thinking the other day that I should just take a long drive up to LA and just cruise LA when there's no traffic. And just have fun driving around. There's nowhere I'll be able to go and stop or do anything. I could do like takeout food or whatever. Yeah. But just go drive around, check out the town when there's not hours and hours of traffic in between two spots, you know?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Sure. Because this is something. Yeah, this always comes up in my brain. By the way, in case you guys didn't know this, my brain works as if there's a cartoon playing 100% of the time. So I'm always thinking of dumb stuff. And when you just said takeout, it made me think, if you were stuck in a world where all you could have is average Thai food or average Mexican food.
Mexican food.
Average Mexican.
Okay. For sure. I mean, are we talking about Southern California?
Yeah.
Average Mexican? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mexican food.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Every time I've had Thai food, it's been a disaster.
Well, oh, really?
So it's a little bit of an easy choice for me. Yeah, I call it Thai-urea.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Mexican food though, my body loves it.
So this whole quarantine thing, like, not to get political, and we'll get to the meat of what we should be talking about here shortly, but
Here we go.
Nothing political. I'm not being like that, but this whole thing is going to hammer a lot of small businesses.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me wonder if like this Demolition Man scenario is going to come to fruition where we're left with nothing but Taco Bell. We just got a world of Taco Bells.
Well, I think the rest of the nation might have Taco Bell after all this, but I think in Southern California we'll have holdouts of, the various Bertos and Cotijans and stuff like that. I think we'll have a few survivors.
Well, regardless, we'll all have diarrhea.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, that'll be the norm. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be.
If you don't have diarrhea, you're going to call your doctor and be like, something's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the people that did hoard all of the toilet paper,
they knew
before they technically knew that this, COVID-19 would cause diarrhea. Somehow they saw layers deeper than we did.
I'm not saying that COVID is going to cause diarrhea. I'm saying that the life we're going to be living in our post-apocalyptic future is just going to be a life of never-ending diarrhea.
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I don't think it's a direct cause. It's just layers deeper.
Oh yeah. No, it's a cause.
They had better foresight than us.
Yeah. Of course. No, that toilet paper is going to be gold.
Where's Del Taco when you need them?
It's going to be better than gold. Is this where you wanted this conversation to go? Is this what you had in mind?
Absolutely. No.
Awesome. We're doing it.
Hey, I see that you're drinking a whiskey, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm drinking
the old whiskey and wires
of Kirkland Scotch.
Blended Scotch. Okay, how is that?
It's really nice, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nice and drinkable, plenty smooth, good flavor to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I shall try it. I've got a Jameson Caskmates.
Fancy boy over here.
Have you seen this?
No, but it's very dark red compared to my light piss yellow stuff.
Well, they finish this in IPA barrels.
Ah.
And so you get this nice fruity sort of finish.
Something I really like when I go to breweries is there's a couple breweries that will finish their beers in like whiskey casks. And there was one I had that was wild turkey beer.
Really?
And you could taste like that's not just whiskey. That's not just a whiskey barrel. That is wild turkey. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I wish I could remember who made it.
Oh man. Well, San Diego's got like a proliferation, if you will, of breweries, right? They're everywhere.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
So it could have been any one of hundreds.
Yeah, like 3 breweries has opened up in my house in the last month. We're lousy with them. They're everywhere.
I want to know which one's coming in your bathroom. That's the one I want to stay away from.
There's no brewery in the bathroom. That's where the gin is made. That's a distillery, obviously.
Oh, fair enough. Prison gin. Yeah.
Prison gin.
Right. So I should mention to folks, Ryan is the host of 60 Cycle Hum, which is, if you haven't subscribed to 60 Cycle Hum on YouTube here, why am I saying on YouTube? They're on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we're here.
Smash that subscribe button. Gotta be like that.
Press the bell.
Yeah. Oh God. So 60 Cycle Hum, you've been at this for a while. You've been at this for 7 years.
Like 6.5 years for the podcast, like 5 years for the YouTube thing.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research. I'm trying not to be a complete noob, as they say.
Sure.
And I saw you've got over 1,000 videos on the channel.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
So this is a daily kind of thing.
It's become daily. I've been doing YouTube for like 5 years, like I said, but I think I've only really been pouring into it heavily in the past like 2 years. There was just a certain point where I looked at what I was doing and I had all this other work that I was doing as my main sort of work. I was like, well, I could either just kind of push the YouTube stuff to the side and not really be committed to it, or I could just go all in and just bet that this is going to end up being, my main thing. And I thought about it for a while and I decided to go all in. And so that's the life I've been living for the past couple of years.
Right.
And, I go to NAMM, I come home with like 60 videos. I go to all these other events and come home with dozens of videos. And then I shoot a couple of videos a week. And it's just a never ending stream of content, really. Jeez. And then the podcast on top of it.
What do you do the podcast on? Where is it available?
It's on YouTube, but we also do it through all the major, podcast hosting.
Okay, got it.
And sites, whatever.
It's the same name, 60 Cycle Hum. People can get it at like Apple's podcast site.
Oh yeah,
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you guys list, and I say you guys because it's more than just you.
Yeah. I've got a co-host for the podcast. His name is Steve. He has a real job, so he doesn't do videos with me all the time.
Sure.
But Steve. Once a week we get together and we podcast and we go through Craigslist and find kind of the best or worst of the used market, and we discuss some topics and do all sorts of other little things on the show.
Sure. I spent some time doing that too on Dave's guitar channel. He was he's a friend of mine I've had for years and years and years, but I've recently gone away from that because I kind of felt like we were running out of things to say.
Sure.
Which
we stopped talking a long time ago on the podcast. We just make noises now.
Yeah.
A lot of guttural noises.
Yeah, there's only so many times I can criticize Fender's fret wire size before I'm like, I got nothing else to say on the subject.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about our format of like covering the used market is that there's always some new disaster. I always feel bad when there's a new podcast starting up. I'm like, oh, this is cool right now, but with your format, you're going to run out of content eventually.
Right.
Like,
sure.
You can't, go down this content path forever. You're going to run out. It's just the truth. So I think that a lot about other people's channels, and they're usually fine.
Yeah.
They make it. They're fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's a seat for every ass. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
So
sometimes too.
So you do well, yeah, depending. I mean, the airline seats are getting smaller and I am getting bigger.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't get me started on airlines. And the food, it's not any good at all. What's the deal with airlines?
So I have to ask, am I your fattest friend? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that. Don't you answer that, you
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, good.
I don't stand up. Turn around. Let me see that bod.
Right, exactly. Oy vey. I'm sorry, folks. It's gone off the rails. I've had like 3 sips of whiskey, but I'll just blame it on 3 glasses.
Similar to a crazy train over here.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm getting to the bottom of my glass.
You advertise your channel as being buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing,
podcast,
pornography. No pornography.
No,
podcast.
Not yet. Not yet.
But that's the next step. The first guy that decides that they're going to break into guitar related pornography and moving over to like the YouPorn or the RedTube or whatever. I've never heard of any of these sites before, folks. Right.
Those are sites.
That's good. Right. Yeah. No, we've never heard of these. I'm making them up off the top of my head, of course.
Yeah. What are those?
Nothing. So those I think the first guy that does that is gonna have a pretty good audience.
I think so. Like combination gear review and like amateur skin flick sort of format.
I don't know. Nobody's done it yet.
No one's done it yet. It's
be you.
It's virgin ground. Someone's got to break that soil.
It won't be virgin long.
So what would that look like? Someone is filming a demo and they're like, oh, check out this new Walrus pedal. Check out this new Wampler pedal. You know, the W section of the the pedal world. And they're demoing the pedal. Then all of a sudden someone comes in like, hey, honey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just filming a demo. And then they start playing the wah pedal. Right. It just goes from there.
Every demo will be a wah pedal. Every single one.
No, that's the idea right there. Wah demos. It'll only be demos of wah pedals. Right. Comparisons of wah pedals, building wah pedals, and then every single video transitions into a skin flick.
Right. What about like guitar slide fittings, if you know what I mean?
You're a dirty boy.
I had nothing to do with it. This is my idea. Oh man.
It kind of seems like it is your idea.
It might be.
You were ready to ask about it. I can tell you've been thinking about it. I say go for it. If this is your heart
running.
If this is what's on your mind, if this is your heart's desire, live your dream. What else are you going to do with 2020? 2020 is a disaster. Start something new.
It's true. It's true. I don't know if the internet has enough bandwidth for all this.
There's you know what is same as music now and everything else. There's a niche for everybody. You get up, you just put yourself out there, and in this case, all the way out there, and you're gonna find your niche. You're gonna find your audience, and it's much better to have a small niche and have a dedicated audience.
Whoa.
I'm not saying.
I'd like to consider it an average niche. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think you would have a normal to average niche for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. Folks, we're gonna take a break.
Isn't that redundant? Normal to average?
My producer's calling me. What do you need? No.
Cut the feed.
Right.
Get out of there.
So, so out of all of the tags you put on your website, which one is your favorite type of video to make? The reviewing, the breaking. I'm really curious.
Buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing. There certainly isn't playing. I really like to do modding videos. I like to take guitars apart and I like to put them back together. That's what I was doing for my own self-entertainment long before doing all this. I don't do enough of it on the channel, but every now and then I've got a project. I'm like, well, I'm just going to document this, and the audience seems to like it. But it's not something I can do all the time. Like, I'm not a repair shop. I'm not doing it for other people. It's like when I get the idea to mod something for myself, then I do it, but I don't have a constant stream of that kind of video.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I've done a lot of that stuff myself over the years, like swapping pickups and this and that, trying different things.
Mm-hmm.
Different electronics, different pots, different bridges, all that sort of stuff. But
yeah,
that stuff's always fun. I think that kind of kept me like really tuned into the gear side of this business.
Yeah.
Like, because playing, if I would have actually focused on playing, I could have done something with my life. Yeah.
I couldn't have. I played a lot, and I was never good enough to be, something anyone wanted to listen to.
No, it's hard, man.
It is nearly impossible.
I chased the when I was a young man in my teens. I chased that whole like Yngwie Vi sort of a thing. Like I remember going from radio rock to hearing this technical stuff and going, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was possible. Let me see if I can do some of it." And I spent years trying to do it, and it made me a lot better, but I never was able to do it. I never totally got there. And I spent years like trying to be able to do it, and then I'd give up and learn a new style, like finger style playing or something, and then I'd get back to it. And now it's just now that I'm starting to appreciate, as my old age, as my sunset starts to approach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm noticing that myself, I'm not chasing it anymore. And I'm finding that I can appreciate other guys that can do it, like guys that I've never heard of before. And I see it and I'm like, you know what? 5 years ago, I would have been bitter, but now I'm like, you kick ass, good for you.
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I was a teen and I was starting out playing guitar, I chased the shreddy thing for a little bit. I was a fan of Gary Hoey, just kind of like a shredder type of guy. And I would listen to Satriani every now and then and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't enjoy playing that way. I didn't enjoy double tapping. I didn't enjoy, all that crazy virtuosity stuff. But then at the same time, I've always been attracted to instrumental music, but like more in the realm of like kind of vintage throwback, like Link Ray, like Dwayne Eddy, sort of early stuff. So
cool.
Yeah, to me, like over the years, because when you're a teen in the 90s, as you and I were, it's like music was your whole identity, and like, oh, people listening to like pop music, oh, this how can they, blah blah blah.
Sure.
And as I get older and older, I'm like, all this music is good. Like someone worked hard on all of this. Like even when I hear something that is objectively bad, I can sit and listen to it and be like, oh, there's value in this. Someone worked on this. Like I can, even for my own entertainment of taking something apart, I can listen to this and enjoy it. Like I don't think there's any kind of music left where I can't sit and listen to it and enjoy it on some sort of level. Even if I don't like the music for itself, I can sit and like think about the music and enjoy it that way, Yeah.
And you're I think we talked before, you're a surf fan, yeah?
Yeah.
That is a community that I don't know a lot about. I have a handful of guys that every once in a while I'll hear something and I'll go, I'm going to write that guy's name down. That sounds awesome. I want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Throw me some recommendations. There's other people in this audience that probably are like myself. They just don't know what's cool in the surf thing.
Well, do you want to know about, the legacy acts, or do you want to know about what's going on now?
I'm going to take out this trusty pad of paper here, and I'm literally going to write down, if you can throw me, here's a 2-part question. Okay. This will help tie things together. Okay. So give me some artists who you think are cool that do that, and then give us all some gear recommendations.
All right.
As to what you like about, or not what you like, but what you think would pull that off.
Okay.
Stuff that you dig.
Well, I think I'll rewind a little bit and just mention a couple of the legacy acts that people should check out if they're just starting to get into surf or they're curious about it. I mean, you got to listen to Dick Dale, The Ventures. You got to listen to Link Ray. You know, bands, the Astronauts, even the Shadows. They're not technically surf, but that whole like instrumental scene of the early '60s. Then, if you want to get into modern stuff, I feel like modern surf kind of starts with Man or Astro Man in a lot of ways. There's other bands around that era, but Man or Astro Man is a huge one, huge discography, really takes the genre in a more modern way. And then more recently, bands like Satan's Pilgrims, the Bambi Molesters, Daikaiju is a fantastic band.
Oh, come on. You can't go from Satan's Pilgrims to the Bambi Molesters. This is like that bit in Wayne's World when he's like, the Jolly Green Giants and the Shitty Beatles. There's just no way.
There's some really just fantastic bands out there. And there's bands, they're like, something I've really found, because I tend to cover this niche on my channel a lot, and I'm one of the few demo channels that kind of leans into that. It's a sound and a discipline of playing guitar that doesn't just belong in its own genre. Like, people use these sounds in all kinds of genres. They're always looking for like, oh, I've got this part in a song and I need that reverb sound, or I need that tremolo sound. I need to learn how to play in that style. And it kind of like it's a flavor that gets used in a lot of music, even though that music might not be, squarely in the surf genre, So I think it's going to persist for a long time as a genre, just because of that, because it is almost in a way like a sound effect,
No, I hear you. I do. That's part of the thing that's so appealing about it. Mm-hmm. So what do you like? What do you like gear wise? What fits that?
Oh yeah, I mean anything with single coils, really. Single coils and a trim on it. I've been playing this a lot. This is my Jazzmaster.
Jaguar, right?
A Jaguar. I was looking at the Jazzmaster. It's back here too, and then I grabbed the Jaguar. This is my Jaguar. Thank you for correcting me. Nice. I got this last year, used from Guitar Center, and it's an early 80s Japanese Fender.
Oh, it is.
I've recently been dialing it in and setting it up and upgrading it. I put a new trim on it, and I just love this thing. It's a lot of fun. It's obviously a clearly classic surf rock guitar too. Like, clearly, like that's what it wants to do.
I love when you have a guitar and as you play that guitar, it draws a particular sound out of your hands.
Yeah.
Because there are definitely guitars that I have where, like, when I play them, I want to sit there and just play like pinky rock, like 1-4-5 sort of stuff. And there are some guitars like, holy cow, look at that.
Have you seen this one?
I have not.
This is a V I built.
Okay.
It's a Hondo body with a Mexican Fender neck on it.
Fantastic.
And single coils. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, it doesn't matter at this point. No, no, I was just saying there's some guitars that you play that make you want to play differently as you play them. And that's such a nice thing. I was just mentioning that about that Jaguar you were holding. As you were saying, that thing just wants to play surf.
Oh, yeah. It just has that sound. Like, yeah. I mean, it's great for other stuff too, but I mean, you plug that into a drippy reverb and a clean amp, and you're there. You're just there.
So what amp do you like for that?
When I'm here at home, I use my Princeton the most. I don't know if you can see it, but when I play shows with my band, I use this acoustic control
amp kidding.
Back here, which is a 70s solid state amp. Albert King would use those. A bunch of other people would use those amps in the 70s. They become a favorite of like Doom acts too, because they're just massively loud, clean amplifiers. They're kind of like twin reverb killers
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I had no idea. And then for reverb, do you like just going with the tank, or do you like going with
So for surf rock, for that sound, the standard, I'll take a little trip over here. The standard, oh, I can't go too far, I'm plugged in, is this Fender Reverb unit thing on top of the amp back there.
Okay.
It looks like an amp head, but it's actually a tube spring unit.
Okay.
And they came up with that in I think the late 50s or early 60s. I think the early 60s, 62 or 63 or something like that. And Fender intended it to be a reverb for vocals, but then people started plugging their guitars into them, and it just makes this horrendously drippy, splashy sound. And it instantly became kind of like the classic sound for that genre. And for the longest time, getting a unit like that was the only way to get that sound. But now there's all kinds of pedals on the market and other things you can do to get that sound. So I'm always kind of chasing that drip.
So what that does that your reverb tank in your amplifier doesn't do is base 100% on the positioning in your signal chain. You're running your guitar into that unit and that unit into your amplifier. So the reverb's hitting the preamp.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you got that right off the bat, because I have to explain to so many people, like, no, you don't put it in a loop, because when these were invented, amps didn't have loops.
Right. No, of course.
And like hitting the preamp with that signal, that reverberated signal, is part of the sound. Like, it affects the reverb, it affects the signal in a way that produces a certain sound. Sure, you could put it in the loop of a modern amp, and it would be more tame. It wouldn't hit and clip, the preamp with that reverb. But if you want that surf sound, you got to hit it with the reverb first.
Right. Okay. No, that's good to know. I never exactly, I don't know. I guess I never looked deep enough into it until you mentioned it. To realize that's what it was. That's probably one of the big character things that makes that sound.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's also just the unique circuitry of that unit, because other companies came out with the reverb units around that time, but they didn't have the same circuit. And so they didn't have quite the same splash and drip to them. They were just more like a standard, like, studio sounding reverb, which is fine too, but it's just not that characteristic sound.
Yeah, I hear you. So you, I'm going to give you a palate cleanser here. That was a mouthful. The surf stuff is so fun.
I need to do people keep asking me to do like a surf music 101 video where, like,
great. I would totally watch it.
Glenn Fricker was telling me to do that, and I just need to do it. I need to, like, hunker down, make notes, and put it together.
Yeah, I'd telling you, I'd love it. I'd be right there. Folks, again, if you are not familiar with Ryan, go to 60 Cycle Hum on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button.
Slap the bell.
I gotta keep saying that. But no, he's over 1,000 videos and counting, and now you're approaching 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I'm close to 49,000, but 50,000 will be the number immediately after that.
Does YouTube give you like a little plaque or anything when you get to that mark? I know at 100,000 they give you a little plaque.
I think at 100, but I don't think at 50. Let me ask Google.
They should give you like a special pair of like big boy pants. They'll say 50,000 subscribers, you finally have your big boy pants.
Subscribers. Plaque? I'd be surprised if there's a plaque for 50.
Yeah, maybe not. But
I don't know.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh wait, someone has one from 2015. They have a video saying they got a plaque for 50,000. Am I about to get a plaque?
I hope so.
An award, a major award.
What could it be? It says Fragile.
Must be Italian.
Right. Oh man. So to me, I'm a small channel right now, but 50,000 to me, I look at it and I'm like, that's a hell of a benchmark. It's a good number. It shows that you've worked a lot.
Well, I think
It's
in this
taken a lot of community building.
If I was doing movie reviews or, you know, unboxing camera gear or makeup tutorials, 50,000 is nothing. But in the guitar world, like, that is significant. Like, I don't think I ever thought I would end up with that many. Because it felt like it took me like 2 years to hit like 3,000 or something like that, you know?
Sure.
It grows real slow at fast. It goes real slow. The whiskey's working. It grows real slow at first. That's what I was trying to say.
Right. And then you have a couple videos take off, go viral. Next thing you know, you're on a yacht with bitches. Something like that.
Female breeding dogs.
Indeed.
How did you know that I go on a yacht with dogs?
I don't know, but I do have a question regarding that.
There's a whole like kennel club thing that I'm part of.
If you were blessed with a superhero capability of being able to communicate with pods of orcas, what would be your first question?
I'd probably be like, "Where's the party?" And the orcas would then take me to the party, or instruct me where the party was, and I'd have to swim myself because I want to know where that underwater party is.
Right. You do realize when they say party, they're referring to literally killing a tiger shark.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's not. It's not good.
Like swimming up on the shore and grabbing a seal with your mouth. Like, I'm down for that kind of party.
Oh man.
I don't know. What do you ask?
You are a beast. I don't know.
Well, I thought you were going to ask me like what superpower would I want to have, and then you asked me what would I ask whales. I don't know what to ask whales.
Oh no. I pre-assigned you a superhero power, and it's an odd one.
Yeah. It's a good one. I mean, if that's, you know, I could work with that. I could make money off of that. That's probably why I'll never be a superhero, because my first thought is like, oh, how can I make money with that? Like, if I was Superman, there's no reason Superman shouldn't be rich, right? Like, why isn't Superman rich? He can see through the earth and see where like gold and diamonds are.
Oh yeah, he could strip mine the planet like that.
Why does Clark Kent work? We're venturing into Jerry Seinfeld territory again.
Oh, it's a front. It's all a front.
He doesn't need a front though.
All right, let me ask you this.
He's a god on Earth.
I'm going to be the master of transitions here. Speaking of fronts, what is your least favorite part of entertaining all of these people on YouTube? When you have to make a video about something guitar related, what's your least favorite one?
My least favorite part?
You still have to smile.
I like a lot of it.
Okay.
I think there's certain parts of editing that I'm just like, I wish I didn't have to do this right now. You know, when I have to reshoot things because I screwed something up, I don't like that. Yeah. But I mean, I chose to like lean hard into this because I enjoy so much of the work. You know, I really do enjoy the work. You don't get to 1,000 videos without liking it. Right. And I think that's the main thing, you know, like if you can call my channel successful, it's not because I know how to make one video that is successful. It's because I just enjoy doing it and just do the same thing over and over and over again. And eventually the numbers add up, you know, like 1,000 videos on a channel. That's only 50 subscribers per video. Right. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a great ratio. There's a lot of wasted time back there.
You're getting the same people over and over and over, which is good. They're return visitors. They like you.
Oh, absolutely. I can't think of anything where I'm like, I don't like that. I generally enjoy every part of this.
That's good. Does it drive your wife nuts?
I think parts of it do.
Yeah.
I think there's times when I'm having to explain, like, I'm working right now and I can't do certain things, and she's watching me, you know, sit and play guitar, and she's like, is he working right now? Or is he just jamming or whatever?
I'm working.
But I mean, that's part of probably what the appeal is that the line in between work and play is blurred a little bit. And maybe that's the part I don't like, is that it has turned what used to be purely play in my life and purely self-entertainment into a job. And so, like, if I get a pedal in the mail or whatever, I've got one right here, I haven't even opened it yet because it's a job. If
Right.
I was still doing this as, my hobby or like for pleasure, it's like the moment it came in the mail, I go, I gotta open this up and try it right now. And so it kind of kills, turning it into a job kills the personal pleasure element of it, which is one of the reasons why I bought that Jaguar that I grabbed, is because it was completely unrelated to any need I had on the channel. I was like, I just want to buy a guitar for myself.
And it looks good in the background, though. So, I mean,
it does look good in the background, but I very rarely use it in any of these videos or anything like that. It's my personal guitar. I bought a personal guitar for myself versus, the guitars that come in as part of this being a job. So,
yeah. What's that Les Paul Special double cut that you've got behind you? Is that a Gibson or a knockoff?
Well, you tell me. What do you think?
I think it's a knockoff.
Yeah, you're right. It's a Harley Benton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks good though.
Yeah, it looks good. Plays nice.
Yeah.
They got the pickup a little weird on this one. They've put out a new version that sounds more like a P90. This, to me, sounds like almost like a Telecaster pickup. It's got like a twang to it.
Oh, interesting.
And there's like a sparkle to it.
That's funny. Yeah, I have one similar to that in my.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is a cheapy Hamer. I don't know if you can see.
I love Hamers.
Yeah, this is like I don't know. They released it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I like Hamers a lot. One of my first guitars was a Slammer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, by Hamer.
I just love that style of guitar though. The double cut Les Paul Jr. It's great.
Yeah, Hamer makes a great guitar too. Even their import stuff.
Even this one here, the reason I bought it, I got it at do you know Top 40 Guitars down there in San Diego?
Yeah, of course.
Or not San Diego, what are they? Is it Santee? East San Diego County?
I consider it San Diego. This is all San Diego. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I got it from those guys. And it was just one of those guitars. It was on the wall cheap, and I picked it up and I was like, what?
Yeah.
How is this thing so cheap? And I just bought it because it just made sense. The fretwork was impeccable. The neck was straight, and it sounded cool.
Yeah, how much was it?
I think I paid like $2.99 for it.
Yeah.
It's just like hard to argue with that when you're in a store. It's $2.99 and it plays that good. I've had it now for close to 2 years, by the way, and I've never had to do a neck adjustment on it.
Yeah.
Not once.
It's a crime how cheap those Hamers go for, the import ones. I had their semi-hollow, their 335 knockoff.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think I got it for like $250, something like that, with a hard shell case. And I loved that thing. I never should have sold it. I sold it because it's like, I'm not really using this in a band anymore. I'll move it. I should have kept that thing forever. Yeah. Fantastic playing guitar. The top on it was just a solid single piece of wood. It wasn't book matched or anything like that. Just one piece of wood across the top. It was a great guitar. For $200, for $600, I could go back in my mind and be like, that played like an $800 guitar now. It was just a great guitar.
Totally believe it. Yeah, I don't know. Something about Indonesia, they've really come up in terms of like fretwork and quality of their, I don't know, what do you call it? Their quality control, I guess.
I think you get what you pay for with that stuff. Like, if the manufacturer is willing to pay for higher quality work, higher quality control on guitars, then you get it from anywhere in the world if that's what you're paying for. You can go to Indonesia and get crummy work if that's what you're paying the people to do, Sure. You could do that in America. You could pay someone to do crummy work in America and build an American guitar that sucks. So
yeah, just hire me. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. Any of us, really.
So what's you held up that pedal a moment ago. You don't have to sneak peek it or anything to us, but what's what's next?
This is not anything new. This is a Boss pedal that
okay.
I was curious about. This an older one, a dynamic drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw someone talking it up online. They're like, "Oh, I love this pedal," and they'd go for super cheap. And I looked it up on eBay. I was like, $45. Yeah, I'll buy it.
There you go. Make a video.
I haven't had a chance to unbox it and try it yet. So.
Yeah. No, that's all good.
Yeah.
You got kids at home.
Yeah.
And they're doing this quarantine thing with you. You got one who should be in school but is homeschooling at this point.
Yeah.
San Diego County schools are closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are either of them showing any interest in Dad's hobby?
Every now and then they'll, my son will want to strum a guitar, twist knobs on pedals and stuff like that. And then my other kid is only a year old, so she doesn't really know anything yet. Yeah. But I didn't get personally an interest in playing music until I was a teenager, so I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna be like, hey, you're gonna learn how to play guitar. Here's 3 chords. You better practice them. Like if the moment that they're interested, of course I'm gonna be all over it.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't expect little kids to be interested in music too much.
No. What do they like to do? I mean, not your 1-year-old. They like to be with their mom and whatever.
I mean,
mostly your 5-year-old into like beating you up or playing video games or all of the above.
Yeah, all the above. I mean, just loves cartoons and video games and just running around screaming and breaking stuff. Stuff that 5-year-olds like.
I hear you. Get them into whiskey.
Yeah, slow them down a little bit.
Exactly, especially over these times right now.
Yeah, seriously.
So, you have any aspirations for like products or anything like that for your channel? I noticed some guys like who are the English guys that have their pedal, Mick and Dan. They've got a pedal through Keeley. Do you have any aspirations or anything like that? Have you ever thought about doing a custom product?
Dan and Mick think they're so cool because they've got a custom orange pedal that's got 2 sides on it for their channel. I've already got that.
Oh, no. I had no idea.
I've got a Pelican Noiseworks 50/50. It's 2 DoD 250s side by side. And it's orange. And it came out around the same time as their pedal. So it looked like one of us was copying the other. But
look at that.
We don't actually make any more of these to sell them or haven't in a long time. So there's only about 120 of these out there in the world. So they're kind of like a collector's market for these.
Whoa. So what is that thing? It's a drive pedal?
Yeah, it's 2 DoD 250s.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I like to stack them.
Is that your preferred drive pedal?
Yeah, I've been a big 250 fan for a long time. I like to run it on kind of like a light gain sort of sound, just a little bit of edge of breakup. And then you stack 2 of them, and it just gets monstrous.
Right.
Like it just turns just huge sounding.
Yeah. And you run that into a clean amp or an already broken up sort of amp.
Yeah. Usually a clean amp is what I'm working with.
Got it. All right. Let me ask you one more question, and then I'm gonna let you move on with your life.
Sure.
Because we're approaching 45 minutes. This is a little bit longer than I like to go because I know people are bored to tears, especially when they're watching me.
Oh, we're so sorry, everyone, that we had to bore you and you had to make it all the way here, 45 minutes. This is a long bathroom break for sure, for whoever's watching this.
Not for me.
You take your time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my only escape right now from my family.
Oh, man, I hear you.
There she blows. So, Christy Brinkley in National Lampoon's Vacation or Selma Hayek in Desperado?
Ooh. Desperado.
Oh, this is the hardest question of the day. Yeah.
Desperado.
I do believe that's the correct answer.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if there's any insinuation behind that question.
No,
it's just a question.
No. I mean, it's your classic Marianne or Ginger sort of question. It could go either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But
I mean, the answer is Marianne every time.
But throwing back to Gilligan's Island on me. And now you've got me here because as I'm thinking about it, of course I can picture Ginger. but I'm like trying to picture Marianne in my head, which is why I'm stumbling. But
If
now
you can't picture Marianne, then
she's there.
Then you're a ginger, and you like ginger.
It's just not me though.
Really?
As a redheaded guy, I have found it that I'm not usually very often attracted to redheaded women. I don't know why, but I will fully admit that. Okay. Sorry, ladies. Literally every redheaded woman watching this channel, which is none, just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
You don't know. There's a lot of ladies out there who might be watching this. Like I said earlier,
they're better for watching this. I'll tell you that.
There's a niche out there for everyone. So
true. 2 seats.
What if you found out? What if you found out that your main viewership was women?
I've already looked at my Google Analytics. There's like 0%.
But I don't think Google records that right or reports it right. And I think a lot of women online, especially on YouTube, I think they decline to indicate their gender because they don't want to deal with the comment section, you know.
Okay.
I don't think it's 50-50, but I think it's a lot better than Google reports. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I think it might be that way too. I don't think Google looks into it too hard because they're trying to make themselves as marketable as possible to that 18 to 35 male demographic for advertisers. You know, like, oh, don't worry, advertisers. We've got all these 18 to 35 males with their, disposable income who just want to buy trucks all day. Don't worry, advertisers. It's all good.
I get ads constantly for food. That's all it is. It's constant food ads.
Yeah.
It's like the camera's looking back at me and reporting to Google. Oh, yeah, this guy's big. Give him food ads.
Google doesn't have everything figured out. For the longest time, I've been getting served advertisements that assume I know how to speak Spanish. Like, somewhere along the line, Google decided that I am a Spanish-speaking man. Which I don't mind because it's like the ads don't even exist. It's like when the ad's in another language and you can't understand it, it's like it just like kind of like washes over you and it doesn't like interrupt your day. But it's pretty funny.
I have no idea.
So speaking of food, I'm a big food lover. I love food. Okay. Like if I sit down and watch, Netflix or Hulu or whatever, I'm usually like trying to find a good food documentary. So yeah, if you want to talk about food, I'll talk about food. is what I'm leading to.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe the channel could branch out.
Yeah, do food stuff.
60 cycle hum turns into I don't even know what.
I already have a hashtag for that. 60 cycle yum. This is not new territory for me.
No, apparently not. I also admittedly love food, but it's interesting. I don't put as much emphasis on it in my day-to-day as some people I know who are foodies. Like I have a friend who's a foodie who absolutely will go out of his way to satisfy that personal hobby that he has where he'll be like, oh, I'm really in the mood for whatever it is, and then like go and find it. Whereas me, I am adventurous and I like all that stuff, but if I'm hungry, I'm just kind of like, well, what's close and what's easy?
Yeah.
And then just get done with it and move on with my work or whatever, So I don't know. I'm a bad foodie.
My mentality is with anything, like you are not an actual connoisseur of anything. Like if you're like a big beer head, you're big into craft beer or whatever. You don't have in my opinion, you don't have an actual opinion, a valid opinion on what is your favorite or best IPA or whatever craft brew, unless you can also tell me what your favorite cheap domestic is. Because if you are actually a fan of that thing, then hell yeah, you've explored the cheap options. And you have a favorite, you have a go-to. Like you can't say you're, a hamburger connoisseur and you can't pick between McDonald's or Burger King. Like because you have explored those things. You spend time thinking about it, And that's just how I feel about a lot of this stuff. Like I wouldn't be able to say, I couldn't claim to have any sort of real opinion on, one $4,000 guitar versus another if I can't also be like, I really prefer this line of Squire guitars versus another line of budget guitars,
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because I like the whole gamut of these things. Because I like the thing. It doesn't have to be, the most exquisite, oven roasted bone marrow in the world for me to have an enjoyable meal.
Right.
I can go to In-N-Out and have, the burger exactly the way I want it. And it's the right time of day and the right place in my metabolism. And I'm like, oh, this is the best meal.
Sure.
I've had in a long time,
What do you think of their fries?
I always eat them first because if you don't, they go soft and cold pretty quick. I don't, I skip the fries a lot these days.
Yeah.
Because it's not good for me. I found out recently I'm diabetic, which is no fun if you like food.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. I got the sequel, type 2.
Yeah,
but,
wow.
Try to stay away from potatoes. But it doesn't like break my heart or anything like that. Like there are hamburger places where like if I don't have the fries, I'm like, oh man.
Well,
I do know people who adore the fries at In-N-Out.
I don't understand those people.
Yeah, I'm kind of
I don't think their fries are very good. I've never been a fan. In fact, I never order them.
I think it's a cultural thing. Like I think if you crave that because it's what you've eaten a lot, like nothing's going to scratch that itch.
I suppose that's fair.
Yeah, nothing's going to scratch that itch, so you have to get that. And I've had this conversation a lot with Josh Scott of JHS Pedals because he's a public In-N-Out hater, and I'm a public Five Guys hater, and we both love the inverse of that.
All right.
So we fight that out quite a bit behind the scenes and.
That's funny. I've had Five Guys. I think Five Guys is good.
Next time
I like In-N-Out's burgers, but man, I just don't. I think their fries are terrible.
Sure. No, I think that's valid. Next time you go to Five Guys, snap a picture of the burger when you unwrap it, and take mental note of whether or not the cheese is melted. And then take mental note every time you go to In-N-Out or anywhere else for the rest of your life, and realize that In-N-Out, the entirety of the cheese is fully melted every single time. Every time I've been to Five Guys, the corner tabs of the cheese are sitting on the edge of the burger completely unaffected by the heat of the burger. And they're just cold, hard cheese on the edges every single time at Five Guys.
Get it together. With Five Guys, you'd think that one of them would have been able to figure that out.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it's
I don't
time
even know how many people are in and out. They don't brag about it.
Yeah, they don't brag about it. Maybe, hey, Five Guys, maybe it's time to let a few women in the kitchen.
I wait a minute. Is that sexist?
No, because there's no women there now. We got to get men in the kitchen where they belong alongside men. Equality.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're treading.
We need to get
awfully
women
close to that line.
We need to get women into Five Guys.
Five Guys will pay the same rate for female and male employees.
We need to.
We think.
We hope. We need to get women in the kitchen as high-profile celebrity chefs that make just as much as all the male celebrity chefs. See, the first part of that sentence sounded terrible, and then I turned it into something that sounds, ambitious and wonderful for the world.
Were you ever a South Park fan?
Here and there. I mean, they have their ups. They have their ups and downs.
Well, I don't know if they have their downs, but I like where you're coming from. If you did you happen to see the episode where Randy Marsh decided to try and become a celebrity chef?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's. I mean, I like to cook, and I think I related to that, story arc quite a bit. Like,
sure.
At the end of the day, At the end of the day, my family's hungry, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know, the sauce is separating wrong. I think I gotta start it all over again, honey.
Oh no.
I don't think these green beans pair with this steak very well. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again.
Oh, that's funny. Does your wife cook?
She has started to because it's become a necessity, but she doesn't enjoy it. Where I enjoy cooking.
You married a white woman, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. See, that I knew right away.
But she's very good at cooking though. When she cooks, she makes very good food every time. She just doesn't enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Which I think is partly because she doesn't really enjoy eating food the way that I do either. So I don't know.
Is it more of a necessity? She's one of those people. It's a means to an end.
Yeah, she could live off of a big bag of people chow, like people kibble, whatever, and be fine with it most of the time. Every now and then she'd want to have sushi or something like that. But if she didn't have to think about a meal for most days of her life, I think she'd be fine.
Interesting.
Yeah. When we were dating, she would just live off of like canned soup, basically, like Progresso.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I was in a very different spot when I was dating my wife. She, on special occasions, tried to like create these like dinners and things. Oh, I'm gonna make dinner for you, which is like how romantic. That's the best thing any guy ever wants. Just put something in my belly, right? That's it. Yeah. And the moment that we got serious, it was just like, boop, no more food. Never again. You're cooking. Shit. I got the old. I cook everything. Yeah.
Do you like it though? Do you like to cook?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm teaching my daughter how, and she really likes to as well, which is awesome.
Nice.
Definitely makes it. What's the word for it? There's a word I'm looking for. I don't know. It makes it meaningful.
Yeah. That's a good word.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice that she wants to do it. She also has interest in playing guitar, which is great. So
how old is she?
She's 8, and she has one of those Jackson Minions.
Nice.
Which is awesome, by the way. Great guitar for the money. So for a little kid being able to do that, then she's got long red hair, kind of looks like a female Dave Mustaine, to be honest with you.
You got to get her to start a Megadeth cover band.
I know. That's I'm working on it.
What would be a good name? What would be a good name for like a all kid Megadeth cover band? That's something for the commenters to come up with.
Yeah.
There's a tip for you. Every chance you get in a video, this is the YouTube tip. Every chance you get, try to call out for interaction in the comments.
Like YouTube tips from Teen Idol, Ryan Burke.
Cover Tiger Beat over here.
I gotta say, this is longer than I expected, but I had a good time. I had a good time. I think this was cool. I got to drink whiskey. I got to hang out with a bud.
Yeah, totally. Are you just finishing your first glass?
Now.
This is my second glass. Bottoms up.
I am a lightweight. Get this.
How much do you weigh?
I'm like 300 pounds, dude. I'm huge.
Are you really 300 pounds?
6'2", like 303 right now.
Wow.
It's a problem. Believe me, it's a problem. My fighting weight is like 240. I feel pretty good at about 240. Which probably doctors would still tell me I was a mess.
Yeah, sure. I mean, anything outside of BMI and they start yelling at you. I mean, I'm outside of BMI and they yell at me. But I'm 6'3", and at one point I was like 265, which was a lot bigger than I am now. I'm like running like 210.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
still got a gut.
I haven't been 210. Hey, folks, look what you got there.
I still got a jiggly belly. I'm no string bean.
Soon to be seen on the Guitar Channel for Pornhub.
Make that the thumbnail for this video.
Well, sir. Very, very well.
Yeah.
All right. And for the sake of all these folks here, thank you guys for tuning in. Do us a favor and smash that button over at you gotta do it over at 60 Cycle Hum. Give this guy some attention. You're gonna learn some things about guitars. You're gonna learn some things about life and love and happiness.
You're gonna learn how bad I am at all of this. And
But
somehow managed to trick companies into sending me stuff.
But most of all, you're going to learn about togetherness. Anyway, man, this was a good time.
Yeah, totally.
Anytime you want to bug me, a lot of these guys know what I do for a living. So anytime you want to bug me, feel free to bug me about the stuff that I do. And, speaking of sending gear, let me know.
Of course. Well, I think you guys over at Boutique are supposed to send me an Imperial at some point.
Yeah, once this whole thing is over.
Yeah. I mean, I thought about that the other day. I was like, I wonder where that amp is. And I started to think about going to my email to write, to check up on it. I was like, oh yeah, the whole world's shut down.
Yeah.
That would be like a dick move right now.
Yeah. I have, by the way, down here.
Uh-huh.
I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to try.
I'm looking for it. Ooh, there it is.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
That amplifier, by the way, is amazing. God, that amp rules.
Yeah.
That's been one that I've really enjoyed playing lately. I'm kind of a Friedman guy. You can definitely see got that Dirty Shirley back there, and that amp is awesome. But as I've been off of heavy metal stuff lately and just trying to do more finger picking stuff and bluesier stuff, I've been playing that Imperial.
Yeah.
It's insane. Plus, you put a BB preamp in front of it. Forget about it.
Yeah, when I was up there, I tried out the Imperial next to the Sky King, and I thought I wanted the Sky King, but then the way that Imperial was breaking up, that's it. That's what I want.
It's one of the best amps you ever play.
Yeah.
Fantastic. By the way, I'm not going to say that you should do this, but I've also played one with a G12H30 in it.
Uh-huh.
Now, here's this. Now, see, we should do another half hour, and this is what the people really want. Now we're getting nerdy.
Yeah, they had to sit through all the food talk and all the Gilligan's Island garbage to get to this.
Dude, I played one of these with a G12H30 in it, and it's absolutely what's going in this amp. It's amazing. It's amazing how much a different speaker can change the voice of whatever the amplifier is.
I went on a speaker journey, a very small speaker journey a few years back, and I had never really considered speakers before. I was like, oh, whatever speaker comes in the amp, this is how the amp sounds, and it's because the amp has a circuit and tubes or whatever. I could not believe how much a speaker changes an amp. Before you change tubes, before you change amps, try different speakers. If you're not happy with your amp, try a few different speakers with it. You might love your amp with a different speaker. It's such a huge difference. It's incredible.
Entirely.
Yeah. It's wild.
Absolutely.
It's wild
true.
How much of a difference it makes.
Yeah. For me, I think I realized that with the Dirty Shirley, it normally comes with a creamback in the combo. And I heard my head through greenbacks. And I was like, why does this sound more bland? My buddy's got one with the combo, and the combo sounds amazing, and that's why I bought it. And I'm like, mine sounds bland. I got to figure out why. Oh, lo and behold, it's the greenback just doesn't quite sound as good with it.
Right.
Ended up discovering that Vintage 30 sounds really good with it as well as greenback. So, different speakers, they make a huge difference.
I mean, I've got the Rev D20 behind me, and I was running it through a blue for a while. I mean, Celestian blue is what everyone thinks they want, right? And then I swapped in a greenback, and I'm like, holy hell, this amp loves the speaker. And the blue sounds like trash. I ended up selling the blue.
You can get a lot of money for a blue, which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice. And the green is new. They're half the price, if not less, than the blue. And I like it better, so...
Very few people need an Alnico blue. It's a very specific sound.
Very specific.
It's not a tight speaker at all. So if you're doing anything other than what Vox AC30 from 1963 is doing, or whatever year,
right?
I'm telling you, the nerds are going to come at me and be like, "Oh, the blue was only in 65," or whatever.
Yeah.
It's but no, it's a very different thing. Anyway.
It's funny, like the few videos I did with the Blue, like shooting it out against other speakers, people would come like, oh, no way that's the Blue. Like a Blue is going to sound way better than that. And you haven't broken it in. It's like, I bought this speaker used from someone who like ran an AC30 through it. Like, this speaker is broken in, boys. Like, it's fine. It just doesn't sound as good as people think it's going to sound in every situation, you know?
Right.
Because it's so specific, like he said. All right, I should stop. Here's the problem. I'm a podcaster. I'm used to going for like an hour, 20 minutes. And you want to run a 35-minute show, and I'm just not ready to do that.
You know what? This time around, we're not going to run a 35-minute show. We're running an hour.
Yeah.
And that's okay, man. This was so much fun for me. God, I would do this anytime. Hopefully, like every other guy that I get in here, is as much fun as you are, Mr. Burke.
No, they won't be. No, a few will be, but some won't. Some are going to be real bummers, which is why I don't like to do interviews, because I'm always worried that like people aren't going to know how to like have fun. So
I know nothing of the sort. So anyway, like we said a million times already, and I'm going to say it again. Give this guy a subscribe if you haven't already. He makes good content.
Yeah.
He's good for our community of musician nerds.
I'm trying.
And he deserves it. And with that, I will say, hasta la vista.
Baby.
Have you been watching the Arnold Schwarzenegger videos during this COVID thing?
No.
They're the best.
Are they good?
He's doing videos from his living room where he's like, everybody stay at home. I'm here at home. I can't. Folks,
that was pretty good.
Do not put that out there. That was awful.
You know, you're the one who gets to edit this, so whatever you want to do, I can't tell you what to do.
Well, I'm going to leave it. I'll let myself look as foolish as possible. Nah, man. All right. Very good. I will catch you on the other side.
All right. Bye.